can go a variety of ways, and you never really know. Do you view it as an opportunity almost to be galvanized to a certain degree with, together as a team?
Yeah, that's interesting. I would say it this way. The only way we can move forward is together, right? If we move forward and this guy makes a left and I make a right, well, then we didn't move forward. Maybe these three people move forward. So to me, here's the power, right? Like in this hand, if I have an open hand, not a lot of power that can be generated. But here, power can be generated. So let's move powerfully forward. Not just, well, let's get Tuesday out of the way. So I don't know about galvanizing, but I do know this, that it's clear to all of us, to everybody involved, that we're only doing this together. And to be honest with you, if we fail, we fail together.
Go back over to Andrew.
Sunday's post-game has kind of ignited a national debate on the handshake line. I was wondering if, I'd be interested in hearing if you had a thought on it, whether they're still useful or get rid of them, alter them.
Do not get rid of them. We cannot give in. We cannot give in. Come on. It's a healthy competition. And in healthy competition, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So there's salesmen all over Michigan. They're gonna go into a company today. They're either gonna get the sale or they're not gonna get the sale. But I'm not gonna shake hands and say thank you for this opportunity. So, look, this is about more than basketball. It's about teaching young people lessons. And not just the young people that are playing the game, right? All the young people that watched, all the young people that support these teams, right? Man up, right?
John?
The three-point shooting, obviously, the last few games hasn't been there. The open looks, certainly. Is there a rhyme or reason to it for you? Have you been around a team that maybe was this erratic? Because we've certainly seen some games where they were falling.
I don't really know the rhyme or the reason. It's just amazing, and some of these student managers are fascinating to me. I'm sure it was the other night, two of the kids were having a conversation at another table, and they turned around to me and said, "Coach, do you know that we've never won a game where we shot higher than 25% or less than 41%? My first reaction was, you need a hobby. Like, you need to do something that's different than this. But then when I was at shoot-around that night, Steve Lapis, who's a really good friend and was doing the game for CBS, he told me, he said the same thing. And I said, I don't have a reason. I mean, it's not, we take a lot of shots. We practice a lot of shots. We take game shots. No team that I've been involved with here has guys that come in and get more shots. A game shot is different than shooting one in the PDC at 8 in the morning. And I just want our guys to shoot it and concentrate on the next shot. Not worry about the last shot, not worry about the statistics, and think that the ball's going in.
Are the young guys able to do that yet, do you think?
No. But they're growing. They're all growing, and hopefully tomorrow night hopefully it starts today.
Austin?
Phil, just to clarify, you mentioned Ward Manuel addressed the team. Was that a practice yesterday or a meeting? What were the circumstances?
Yes. He spoke to the team, and the beauty was, up until 3:15 yesterday, everybody was working on their own set of facts. So Ward Manuel came and gave the players the facts, right, about Coach. He had not, to be clear, he had not, Terrence and Musa, that decision was not made until the Big Ten accepted it later in the evening. But he told them that it was probable that they would not play. And he was very blunt with everybody that that's not going to be repeated, right? That is just not going to be repeated, and it was not acceptable.
Not a problem with Abigail?
There's been a lot of noise around this team all year, but even more so in the wake of all of this. How does that kind of affect the mental aspect, and what are you telling the guys?
I'm sorry, the noise,
Yep.
like the hype and.
Yeah, well, with the recruiting class coming in.
Right.
And
We have been consistent with what other people say about you, whether you're the #1 recruiting class, whether this guy's a one and done, whether that guy's an All-American. That's what other people say. But what's the court? What are we doing on the court? And with regard to how the players approach going forward, everything that this team wants to accomplish and has stated as a team goal is still there. And even tomorrow night is not a must win, because in games that are must win, then does that become a must lose? Are they collecting new uniforms on Thursday? Have they not told me that one? So, and I don't mean this in a mean-spirited way, but the external noise takes practice to block it out and to do what we set out to do. And I go back to that idea. 1% better today.
Just going back to the meeting with Ward, that bluntness that you just referred to, what impact can that have, having that tone set so early in all of this, what impact can that have as you all move forward?
What it was it was a master class in leadership. It was a master class in leadership. And now take in all the external factors, right? There's a Michigan grad, a Michigan parent, right? A Michigan administrator, an African-American man, student athlete, okay? So if the players, which they do, have blood that's flowing through their veins, they got it. It was a master class in leadership. And if we want to be like, we want to get a script underneath a TV, I don't even know what they call those things, the scroll underneath, like crisis mat. No. It was leadership to the fullest extent, and I applaud him for it.
James?
Phil, you mentioned that you can still be in contact with Juwan during the suspension. I guess is there anything he's allowed to do to help the team during the suspension? Is he allowed to offer game input at all?
Juwan is permitted to have contact with players. He's permitted to have contact with coaches, staff. He will and has expressed his love for everybody, and everybody in the program has expressed their love for him.
Blake?
Just working on something on Will Cheddar. Wondering what you've seen out of his development this season, kind of being that behind the scenes, but also, making sure he grows for the future?
Well, during his recruiting, I have said, if he can play, this is the stuff of movies, right? Like football quarterback, decides to do the discus, wins the state championship, 3.99999, China for 3rd and 4th grade or 4th and 5th grade. And his it may not be a word, spongeness, his taking this all in. And being able to take a step back and watch him be coached by Juwan Howard, and this kid has joy in his heart because of that. It's rare. It's rare for any person to be able to say, man, I don't have all the answers. We all have all the answers, right? We don't know all the questions, but we know all the answers. And this kid came in wide-eyed, hasn't changed, and has just served an extraordinary role on the team in that, and I'm trying to rack my brain now to make sure, like yesterday's practice, today's practice, he's Ron Harbaugh. Pretty high praise.
Yeah.
Now, on a personal note, there are guys that I want him to be like. Like, could he be Kyle Young from Ohio State? Could he be a versatile power forward? And there has clearly been growth in his game. And guys that serve on this scout team get an awful lot of basketball information, different styles and things like that. So I think we're in for, casting a movie here by the time he's done.
Thanks.
Jamie?
You said right off the bat you're not Juwan Howard, so how will you be different in these practices, in these 5 games? How do you see yourself different than him?
And I'm not being self-deprecating, but I don't have the offensive mind that he has. I don't have that in my DNA, in my coaching DNA. I don't have a library of ATO plays like he has. I love practice. I think practice is really the coach's time. Practice is the coach's time, right? It's like a classroom. So the professor's time is when they deliver the lectures and prepare the plan, right? And then when the students take the test, there's no professor that makes them about them. So the great coaches make the games about the players, not about themselves. That's what he does. That's what I do. And the love that he has for his players is just extraordinary. I love them, but I'm not as, he's a big presence. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I tossed and turned on Sunday night. And finally I woke up Monday morning, it was really very clear to me. They didn't ask me to be Juwan Howard. They asked me to be me. And you know what? I'm confident in that.
Go ahead.
Phil, you've been a coach for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen all sorts of different game management at the end of a game that's been decided. What was your reaction to the pressure defense from you guys and the timeout from Wisconsin, and did you see anything inappropriate there?
I did not. I think that it was ebb and flow, right? I do think that that's a really, really, really sensitive situation, right? Because who subs first? Right? Well, who's on the floor? So, I think that it's not what happened has happened. And no one walked out without learning hard lessons.
Does anybody have anything else? Okay, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it.